What's going on, everybody? My name's Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's 5-game main MLB slate over on DraftKings. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Tim. We've been breaking down these MLB slates daily over on DraftKings. And without any further ado, let's just jump right into this. So we got 5 games today. 2 of them are going to be highly weather variant here. So the first game here, we have the Mariners at the Red Sox here. So Red Sox favorited 9 over under. The winds are blowing out about 20 miles per hour. So I think that's a huge boost to the bats. Pitching wise, you have Dunn going against Pivetta. Not really interested in Dunn. Red Sox are first in average, second in on base percentage, 8th in home runs. This offense is insane. They just keep hitting. So no thanks on Dunn. Pivetta kind of intrigues me a little bit. Pitching on this slate is actually kind of gross. So Pivetta actually is one of the better options. I don't know how much pitching will be affected by this weather. The over-under is only 9 right now, but Pivetta, he's definitely in play at $7,400. But there's definitely risk there. I like some of the Mariners bats here on this side. I mean, the numbers don't show it. They're 25th in average, 27th in on base percentage, but they actually fare a lot better against right-handed pitching, and Pivetta actually can walk a lot of guys. So in play for the Mariners, Haniger at 4-1 is very cheap. Seager 4-7. France, I like a lot at 3-7, a lot of power upside. White at 3K, just a punt with some power upside. And then Trammell just, 3.4K. Maybe you need to get a guy into the outfield. So he's in play if he starts. And then on the Red Sox side, it's going to be really hard to stack these guys, especially if you're trying to get Walker Buehler in your lineup. But Martinez at 6K, Devers at 5.8, Bogarts at 5.7. Dahlbeck is something I'm interested in just because of his value at 3.8. And then Cordero too, if he starts 3K, it's very cheap. Keep in mind that he can be replaced as like a defensive replacement later in the game. So not a bad option there. Next, we have the Mets taking on the Cubs. Mets favored here, 9 over under. The wind also is blowing out 10 to 15 miles per hour at Wrigley. So people are going to be all horned up for this game. Lucchesi going against Williams here. Not so much interested in Williams here at that price, $8,800. Or just in general, all the Mets 9th in average, 4th in on base percentage. I think, we might see some home runs today with that wind. And then Lucchesi going against the Cubs. Cubs haven't been hitting very well. They exploded yesterday, and they're still 30th in average. On base percentage has shot up a couple points, so that's nice to see. Guys in play here for the Mets: Alonso at 5K, Lindor 4.7, Smith at 4.6. All solid options there. Conforto 3.5 for the discount there, and Nimmo at 3.7. I really like the Mets a lot today. So keep that in mind. I think that this game could, be easily over 9 over under. And then on the Cubs side too, they're no slouch either. Rizzo at 4.4, Bryant at 4.5, Contreras at 4.6 at catcher. Baez 4.6, all really, really reasonably priced. Baez, I will say, is 5 for 6 with 2 home runs against Ukesi. And then Marisnik, if he cracks the starting lineup, 2.7K, really, really cheap. He's very good against left-handed pitching. Next, we have the Angels at the Astros. I think the ownership in this game is going to be far less than the first 2 games, but I'm definitely interested in this one. 9 over under, excuse me. You have Cobb going against Javier. Javier's price is kind of laughable, maybe a misprice here at 9,600, but maybe in play. Angels are very hot though, 2nd in average, 7th in on base percentage. When you have Trout and Ohtani on your team, it's kind of scary to face them. And then Cobb, 7.7. He's definitely had some good games so far this year. I just don't trust him going against the Astros. Yes, the Astros are slumping. They're 11th in average, 18th in on base percentage. Definitely slipping a little bit since the beginning of the season, but they're still in play. Like on the Angels side, Trout 5.8, decent price there. Ohtani 5.1, Upton 3.3, Walsh 4.7. Even Pujols at 2.7, I don't mind there if he starts. And then on the Astro side, it kind of starts with Alvarez, 4.5K. He's super well rested because, the Houston coming in from a National League game where, Alvarez didn't get to start. And then Bregman at 4.8. That's really, really cheap for him. It starts with those 2 guys, but I think you can make a case for more Astros players in this one. Next, you have the Marlins and the Giants. Castano at 6.1, just a terrible pitcher going against Sanchez, who at least is a little bit intriguing. Like I said, the pitching on the slate is really gross. So 7,100 for Sanchez. he's in play, right? 8.5 over under. On the Marlins side, they're hitting the ball. They're not really hitting for power. So, guys in play, Duvall at 4K, if he can get there in the power department. Dickerson, I think he has to play at 3K. Anderson, 3-3. If you're really trying to get contrarian, I think Sanchez is going to be a popular pitcher. So you can go with some Marlins bats there. I don't know. I just don't know if I can trust it. And then on the Giants side, facing a lefty, we love stacking Giants lefties against pitchers. Slater at 3.9 is very cheap for some power upside. Longoria at 4.4, Yastrzemski at 4.8, super cheap. Sign me up. Posey 3.9%, 3.9K, and your catcher spot I think is fine. Flores 4.1, so a lot of options on this Giants side. They're at home, so good options there. They're first in home runs, by the way. And then last, we got the Padres taking on the Dodgers, 7.5 over under. You have Weathers going against Buehler. Buehler at 10K is kind of expensive, but he probably is the safest and most has the most upside out of any of these pitchers. So I think he will be fairly popular today, even though the matchup isn't all that great. The Padres, yes, they have been slumping, but they're still one of the better teams in baseball. And leading this team, you have Tatis at 4.8. That's super cheap. I expect him to be somewhat popular, maybe trying to get a little contrarian against the Buehler owners. Machado at 5K, a little pricey. Myers at 4.3, I think is decent. Cronenworth at 3.4K, I think is the best value on this team by far. And then on the Dodgers side, sixth in average, first in on-base percentage, eighth in home runs, still one of the best teams in baseball, led by Mookie Betts, 5.9K, I think is very reasonable. Turner, 5.5, Seager, 5.6. I know it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but last time they did that, Seager hit a home run. Maybe he goes lower owned in this one. And then Pollock at 3.2 just for some outfield value. So there's definitely some clear paths here. It all depends on what you want to do. The first two games are the wind games, and I think they're going to be very popular, so that might make the Dodgers a little bit less owned, and maybe even some of the Angels and Astros as well. That'll do it. My name's Tim Williams. If this helped you out, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It certainly helps me out a ton. Best of luck today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And yeah, I hope you win some big bucks. Take it easy. Have a nice rest of your day.